Welcome back to the
second episode of
TV Trends for Dummies.
Okay, today we'll be talking about the CNN effect.
CNN effect.
We always say like today as if we're doing episodes every week, but it's actually every few minutes. So this hour,
this minute. So basically, let's talk about CNN. Russia invades Afghanistan, end of the Cold War. Mr. Ted Turner launches CNN. It's so amazing. It's a 24/7 broadcast. It's a global hub. Everyone relies on it for information. Now, its first claim to fame was the Gulf War. They asked an Iraqi minister, "How did you hear about the conflict?" And his response was, "I get my news from CNN." CNN. So that was like, wow. If an Iraqi minister listens to and watches CNN, it's amazing. Now, it has three effects. The first one is the ability to affect foreign policy. Now, basically, this means that CNN can trigger decisions made on human interventions wherever there is a crisis. Sababa, so like they turn the war, they take the war, put it on the global news agenda, and they do this by showing images of war, atrocities, all that stuff. Now they said that it wasn't the Clinton administration but the CNN that brought various atrocities to the world's daily agenda. In both world wars, the U.S. had a no intervention policy. But now they intervened. You know, look at Somalia, look at Serbia. Was it CNN's fault? That's what this effect says. Now, so they call out the government to go and intervene. They also call the CNN the 16th member of Security Council.
And what is a Security Council?
Security Council, my friend Sharp, is they decide if U.S. should go and intervene in places. And there's 15 members. So it's like the CNN is another member. There's a bit of criticism for this. Yeah. Mr. Gibbs, he said that U.S. intervened not because of CNN, but because of national interests like oil. Why did they go to Somalia when the same shit was happening in Sudan? Well, they had interests in Somalia. There are two other models inside this effect, Livingstone and Ammons. If you want, you can check someone's notes. And basically the conclusion that CNN has the effect of making countries, like the US, intervene in shit they wouldn't have otherwise.
So effect number two is that they have the ability to affect local policy. The main interest basically fed off of the fact that they were like bringing people together, and the CNN can also what are you doing? They can force the government to make local decisions, and because of like global conflicts. Basically, they can change local policy.
Can I have an example?
Okay, so an example was when there was France. They were testing nuclear weapons. They were basically doing nuclear activities in the Pacific Ocean. Nuclear activities in the Pacific Ocean. And CNN and Greenpeace basically intervened, and they included the international community got involved, and the whole world, whoever cared about this, was against France, and they had to change the local policy, which resulted in not being able to do nuclear activities in the Pacific Ocean. Another example. I'll give another example. You just be patient, my friend.
Okay.
Okay, there was an example with Brazil where kids would pickpocket police and the police would kill them. All of a sudden, a photographer took a picture of this and he got the media's attention, and of course CNN covered this. And then people started to say that Brazil violates human rights and all that stuff. And basically, the European Union said that we won't import or trade with you until you change your policy on this. You change your constitution, and basically they had to change their local policy. Like they weren't allowed to kill kids, stunned. And the third conflict is that it's a conflict resolution tool. It basically gives the people the ability to think internationally, and CNN represents both sides, like many countries. And when there's more than one body of conflict, basically the CNN as a network is responsible for representing all sides and promote global understanding. Basically, you represent both sides.
Which is bullshit because they don't really represent Israel.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us in episode number 2. We'll see you in about a couple minutes.